Chapter 91. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Listen. Minato and Naoki gritted their teeth and nodded. You already know so much, why not know a little more? As for how Qianyue knew these secrets, does it even matter? What's important is how many dark things the village's higher-ups have done. Tisk, tisk. Be mentally prepared. Qianyue feels some pity for the rope tree inexplicably. The real version is, the Uzumaki clan has always been an ally of the Senju clan, not Konoha. In today's Konoha, the Senju clan has long become a thing of the past. The Sarutobi clan is in charge, the Shimura clan is in charge, and the Mito clan is in charge. Why should we harm your own interests to rescue your allies of the Thousand Hands clan? Waiting for others to take action, we secretly take over everything and take away the Uzumaki clan's property. Isn't it nice? Think about it, how many precious ninjutsu and sealing techniques the Uzumaki clan has collected. These are all urgently needed by Konoha. It just so happened that Konoha needed a new Jinchuriki, so Kushina came to Konoha, otherwise not even Kushina would be left. The temperature was obviously not low, but at this moment, Minato and Naoki felt chilled in their hearts. Then they took the initiative to start a war. This also belongs to the real version, because these people are the ones who call the shots in Konoha. The Rain Ninja village has grown, become disobedient, and poses a threat to them, so it needs to be eliminated. At least the strength of the Rain Ninja village must be defeated, so that other small villages will not try to overthrow the rule of the 5 major ninja villages. It is as simple as that. As for you Ninja village wanting to start a war, that's true. Not only the Rain Ninja village, Sand Ninja village, Iwa Ninja village, Kyuumo Ninja village, and even Konoha all have this idea. Falling on the ground and leaning on the grass, Qianyue looked at the bright moon and stars in the sky and sighed. It has been too long since the first ninja war, and the strength of each village has been restored. Some senior hawks can no longer hold back and want to obtain everything the village needs through war, so a war will break out. The Sand Ninja village is the best proof. Taking advantage of the war between Konoha and the Rain Ninja village, they couldn't wait to send people to surprise the Fire Country and start plundering it. Don't foolishly think that the Rain Ninja village, under the leadership of Hanzo, can really threaten the 5 major ninja villages. It's just that the only thing that can threaten is the interests and face of certain people. Hanzo is not stupid and will not attack the 5 major ninja villages. Minato looked at Qianyue and asked, So you haven't wanted to get in touch with senior officials? Is that because of this? Otherwise, they would have sent people to monitor me, and of course you would too, because we are too close to Kushina. Kushina is the Jinchuriki of Konoha, the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. Kianzuki explained the concepts of tailed beasts and Jinchuriki to Minato, which made Minato break into a cold sweat. Damn it, do you want to do this? If you get close to a Jinchuriki, you might be eliminated. What kind of gangster logic is this? Is it possible that the Jinchuriki will be isolated and have no contact with outsiders? If he had done anything bad at that time, would he have been arrested by Anbu? And the tailed beast, such a terrifying thing was sealed in Kushina's body. Inexplicably, Minato felt that Kushina's terrifying level was increasing. Okay, that's the end of today's topic. Let's rest. I'll contact Tsunade tomorrow and get this matter settled as soon as possible so that we can feel relieved. In the end, neither Minato nor Nashu could sleep, so Qianyue had no choice but to let them stay and walk around the surrounding area. The people in the Kusanagi village did not say anything. There were indeed Iwagakure ninjas in the country of grass, but they had no intention of attacking the Kusunoin village. Moreover, there were not many Iwagakure ninjas who entered the country of grasses. Qianyue guessed that these people should be here to perform some kind of mission. As for the grass ninja village, to be honest, the Iwa ninja village did not take them seriously. The next day, Qianyue took Roshu to a remote place and channeled Wanshi. I have to say that the creature in the 3rd generation Holy Land is the cow. Look at Wanshi, she was covered in injuries from being beaten by Xiao Bai before. But now the injuries on her body are all healed. After being channeled, Wanshi approached Qianyue alertly and flatteringly. Qianyue raised her hand and shouted, Okay, don't come any closer. I called you here to tell you to send this scroll to Orochimaru, before the war between Rain Ninja Village and Konoha ends, if Orochimaru is psychic that if you want, help him. Okay, master. One she didn't dare to show any arrogance, so she swallowed the scroll honestly and nodded her big head, pushing the rope tree. Qianyue said to Wanshi, this friend of mine wants to sign a psychic contract with the snakes in your Longdi cave. Do you think there are any suitable options that are growing? By the way, is there such a green snake in Longdi cave? Qianyue roughly told the news about green snake. The green snake at this stage should not have grown up yet, so it is just right for the rope tree. In addition, green snake's talent is good, and his future strength will not be worse than Wan snake's. At the level of Wanzi, Naoki basically can't count on it. Minato can have Gamabunta's idea, but Naoki can't. Because the snake in Longdi cave is a master that none of his relatives recognize, either conquer them with strength, or sign a contract from a young age and grow together. Green snake. There are so many snakes in Longdi cave that one she can't remember them all. Moreover, the place where it lives is deep in Longdi cave, and due to its bad temper, ordinary snakes would not dare to come to its territory easily. Master, I need to go back and investigate. Okay, go ahead. If you can't find it, choose a suitable snake and sign a contract with it. All you have to do is find the target. You don't need to worry about the rest. Waving her hand, Qianyue said, you can get out of the way. Go obediently to deliver the information scroll and find green snake. Respectfully lowering his huge head, when she lifted the psychic spell and returned to Longdi cave, let the little snake inform Orochimaru and hand the scroll to him. After hesitating for a moment, when she asked the little snake who went to inform Orochimaru to convey Qianyue's intention. During the war in the Land of Rain, Orochimaru was able to channel it to help fight. Gray-brown snakes emerged from the ground, biting two ninjas from the Rain Ninja Village and breaking their necks. Orochimaru sat on the ground without any image, breathing heavily. Beside him, Tsunade and Jiraiya were not doing much better. Tsunade was just a little tired, and Jiraiya was injured because of his carelessness, which made Orochimaru want to abandon him. If Tsunade hadn't stopped him, Orochimaru would have left Jiraiya alone. Look what I'm doing. If you hadn't been able to channel all the snakes, I wouldn't have been hurt just now, so it's all your fault. Jiraiya covered the wound and began to blame him. Orochimaru's face was livid, and he clenched his fists, wanting to punch him to death. It's just that you are incompetent, and you still blame me for not being able to summon a psychic beast. What kind of weird nonsense is this? How can you blame me for this? It could be seen that Orochimaru was restraining himself. Jiraiya was excited for a while and then decisively shut up. It feels good for a while, but if you keep getting high, you might end up in the crematorium. Don't test Orochimaru's ruthlessness. If you go to the test, you will find that except for himself, everyone else is expendable, especially Jiraiya. As long as he can, Orochimaru will abandon him without hesitation. Jiraiya. Chapter 92. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The intensity of the fierce attack on the Rain Ninja Village far exceeded Orochimaru's expectations. Even after receiving information in advance and being prepared, they could only struggle to support themselves. If there is no preparation in advance, the three of them can embark on the road to escape at this time. At this time, a small snake came out from Orochimaru's clothes, hissed at Orochimaru twice, spit out a ninjutsu scroll, and then left. Orochimaru raised his eyebrows slightly. He picked up the ninjutsu scroll on the ground, opened it, looked at it, and handed it to Tsunade. What? Kianzuki, Nojiki and Minato were sent by Danzo to the Kusanagi village to perform tasks. Near the Grass Ninja Village, I met a little girl from the Uzumaki clan. They plan to take the child back to Konoha, so they need your help. Oh. Tsunade didn't react much. She didn't have the heart to pay attention to these things now. It was just a trivial matter to solve a person's identity problem. The most important thing right now is to deal with the enemy's attack. Glancing at the enemies that were gradually surrounding her, Tsunade felt a little headache. She glanced at Jiraiya and asked, "Can you still move?" I wanted to tell Tsunade forcefully that I could do it, but unfortunately the situation didn't allow it. Jiraiya could only reply weakly, "It doesn't seem to work." Have to. Things are getting more and more troublesome. Why haven't the reinforcements arrived yet? Tsunade sighed, this can't go on like this. The situation for the three of them is getting more and more dangerous. More and more Konoha ninjas in the camp were dying. Unfortunately, Tsunade and the others only cared about themselves at this time and could not take care of others. It's time to break out. Send a signal flare and ask everyone to gather and follow us to break out. Orochimaru suddenly stood up. Your brain is burned out, and you lose all your troops. Every one of them is either wounded or has excessive chakra consumption. What to do to break out? Jiraiya wanted to scold Orochimaru, but how could he still think about joking? The little snake just now, could it be one snake? Tsunade's eyes lit up. If she could channel all the snakes at this time, she would indeed be able to break through. 10,000 snakes are stronger than slugs and toads in frontal combat. Biting his finger, Orochimaru quickly formed a seal, slapped his palm on the ground, and Tsunade also quickly sent a signal flare. Bump. White smoke exploded on the ground, and Wan Shi's huge body appeared on the battlefield. The Konoha ninjas who saw the signal flare also came over immediately. Get on Wan Shi's back and prepare to break out. Orochimaru, don't push yourself too far. In the past, Wan Shi had already cursed people, but now she lowered her huge head and said unhappily, If the master hadn't asked me to help you, I would never have responded to your channeling. If you don't help us, Qianyue will never let you go if she finds out. The three of them were not intimidated. Tsunade poked at Wan Shi's weakness with just one word. Wan Shi's fierce face made her instantly confused. Recalling the scene of Xiao Bai's rage in his mind, Wan Shi shuddered, coughed, and shouted dissatisfied, I know, you people are really troublesome. Hurry up, Uncle Wan Shi has saved you. You have to rush back to help choose the right snake. Troublesome. Talking about trouble, Wan Shi took the initiative to help roll up the injured ninja with his long tail and threw them on him, turned around and swam quickly in the direction of the Konoha camp. Boom. Wan Shi was swimming like a powerful super tank, roaring all the way. Everything in front of it was crushed, including rocks and trees. As for the trap set by the enemy, it is no different from scratching an itch for Wan Shi. Wan Shi led Konoha's people and ran out in a rampage. What the hell? Looking at Wan Shi's quickly leaving figure, the ninjas in Ninja village were a little confused. They tried to intercept, but Wan Snake ran too fast. Those Konoha ninjas standing on Wan Snake kept releasing ninjutsu to attack them, hindering their pursuit. As a result, they could only watch Wan Shi leave. Some ninjutsu hit Wan Shi's body without any pain or itching. Wan Shi didn't even grunt and ran away. Hanzo-sama, the remaining people in Konoha have broken through and escaped. Ran. Hanzo was stunned. Even now, how could the remaining people in Konoha escape? How did they escape? Reinforcements or other reasons? It's Wan Snake. Orochimaru has never channeled his own psychic beast, but just when the defense was weakest, Wan Snake channeled Wan Snake, so Wan Snake ran away with the remaining people. 10,000 snakes. Half Zhang recalled the huge snake with a bad temper. When such a psychic beast appears on the battlefield, it is indeed not something that ordinary people can stop, unless Hanzo himself takes action. Since he has already run away, so to speak, it does not affect his plan. In this battle, Konoha will continue to fight with the Rain Ninja village, and will not stop until there is a winner. There seems to be some movement among the people in Sand Ninja village. Hanzo didn't know what the people in Suna Ninja village wanted to do. At present, it didn't look like they were targeting the Rain Ninja village. Maybe they are still targeting Konoha. Most of the ninjas in the Konoha camp have been dispatched, so Chio is going to attack the camp. The Sand Ninja village did not want to fight with the Rain Ninja village. They joined the Rain Country battlefield just to muddy the waters, drag Konoha down by the way, prevent Konoha from ending the war here, and continuously distract Konoha's effective strength. It seems that Ninja village can find a temporary ally, and perhaps ask for some resources. Just think of it as compensation for the damage caused by your entry into the Kingdom of Rain. Instructing the people below to slow down for a moment, Hanzo led some of the people out of the camp. I don't understand why Hanzo asked them to postpone the attack, but the ninjas who came down to the Rain Ninja village had no choice but to obey. After escaping the encirclement, many of the wounded cried with joy, and Tsunade began to help treat the wounded. Listening to the wounded man's words of gratitude, Tsunade shook her head slightly. She had heard so many such kind words that she was even numb. Jiraiya, like Qianyue, lay with the other wounded, while Orochimaru left to collect useful information. At night, a group of people hid in a hidden cave, waiting for reinforcements to arrive. Orochimaru walked into the cave and sat by the fire, drying his clothes soaked by the rain. Tsunade rubbed her eyes, yawned and asked, "How's the situation?" "It's a little quiet." It was indescribably strange. At this time, Ninja Village did not take advantage of the victory and pursue it, but stopped steadily. This was not like Hanzo style. Rain Ninja Village shouldn't stop at this time. They who desperately want to fight Konoha decisively should press forward step by step and quickly expand the results. Otherwise, when Konoha calms down, the advantage of the Rain Ninja Village will be eroded little by little, and the war will eventually be lost. When the enemy was unlikely to pause, the ninja army in Ninja Village slowed down. This was wrong. The Rain Ninja Village has stopped. I'm afraid there's something wrong. Chapter 93. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I suggest that we leave here as soon as possible and join the reinforcements to prevent the Rain Ninja Village from being surrounded again. If the ninjas of the Rain Ninja Village press forward step by step, Orochimaru can stay and rest in peace, but the current situation was so weird that he couldn't help but think about it. Leave as soon as possible and make plans after rendezvousing with reinforcements, okay? Tsunade also felt something was wrong. In this case, take the initiative to join the reinforcements to prevent accidents from happening. Just when the Rain Ninja Village was acting extremely strange, Hanzo led his people to find Chiyo. I didn't expect that the demigod would come to the camp of my Sand Ninja Village. Could it be that he wants to bow to my Sand Ninja Village? The two sides had fought each other, and Chiyo had nothing to do against Hanzo. In addition to poison, Hanzo also has quick teleportation and physical skills, which are designed to defeat her. Chiyo's puppet. What the puppet master is most afraid of encountering is a ninja with fast speed and strong physical skills. Tsunade has the best say in this regard. She is not afraid of poison, her speed is not slow, and her strength is simply terrifying. Any puppet in front of her will be turned into waste with one punch. If you can't beat them, you can't beat them, but you still have to fight, at least not to weaken the momentum of Suna Ninja Village. After all, it is one of the 5 great ninja villages. Chiyo will never bow to Hanzo, otherwise the entire Sand Ninja Village will become a joke. Hanzo looked at Chiyo as if he were insane, and regarded the surrounding ninjas from Sand Ninja Village as nothing. He dared to come to him, so he naturally had his own confidence. The last thing Hanzo fears is being surrounded by enemy troops. As long as the poison spreads, at least half of the ninjas in Sand Ninja Village here will die. I believe that Chiyo also understands this truth and will not be an idiot and want to keep him half hidden. Old woman, don't you think your idea is naive? What's the meaning? Chiyo frowned and looked at Hanzo coldly. Hanzo didn't care about Chiyo's almost cannibalistic gaze and said slowly, I know that you want to take the opportunity to attack Konoha's camp, and I also know that the war between Konoha and the Rain Ninja Village was started by your Suna Ninja Village. I came to you today only for one thing. I don't care about provoking a war, but Sand Ninja Village must give you Ninja Village a certain amount of economic and material compensation. I know that you started the conflict, and I also know that you want to attack Konoha's camp, so I came to ask for compensation. Your Sand Ninja Village must compensate me. It seemed that he was still found out. Chiyo frowned. Suna Ninja Village did not do this kindly at first, but in order to provoke a war and weaken Konoha's effective power, Suna Ninja Village had to do this. So what if you are investigated afterwards and a war breaks out? Do you still want to use this to blame others? It's just that Chiyo didn't expect that Hanzo would notice Suna Ninja Village's intention to sneak attack Konoha's camp, and Hanzo would use this as a threat and come to ask for material compensation. Do you think that's possible? Sand Ninja Village is still short of supplies. Where can I find supplies for you? Chiyo sneered. This is impossible. If the demigods are here for this matter, then you can go back. Our Sand Ninja Village does not have any extra supplies to support your Rain Ninja Village. Yeah. Hanzo was also annoyed and said calmly, If that's the case, then your Sand Ninja Village plan is doomed to fail. So what if you fail? Chiyo showed that if you don't get in, your Rain Ninja Village will definitely fight to the death with Konoha anyway. You Hanzo have no way out. Even if you don't want to fight, anyway, your Ninja Village can no longer hold on any longer. We, the Suna Ninja Village, are not in a hurry. our mission is to muddy the water and drag Konoha's vitality into the Rain Ninja village. It's best to attack Konoha's camp by surprise. If you can't attack by surprise, just keep dragging. In a two-front battle, only Konoha would be anxious, although Sand Ninja Village itself is not feeling well either, but the price paid by Sand Ninja Village was far smaller than that of Konoha. Chiyo still showed no expression at all. Hanzo waved his hand and led others to leave. In this case, I can only choose to call a truce and negotiate with Konoha. I believe Konoha is willing to compensate my Rain Ninja Village for something, but I'm afraid that your Sand Ninja Village won't be able to accept it by then. Hanzo's move to draw out the fire just hit Chiyo's weak spot. What is the Sand Ninja Village most afraid of? Isn't the biggest fear that the war will end suddenly? If the Rain Ninja Village negotiates peace with Konoha, Konoha will not refuse even if it costs some money, because the biggest enemy of Konoha is Suna, who is also one of the 5 great ninja villages. Ninja Village, not the Rain Ninja Village, which has exhausted its resources and cannot be relieved for at least 20 years, the wealth of Urin Village has been destroyed. From now on, there will be no business and the economy will be difficult to recover. Anyone with a discerning eye can see it. Hanzo is still holding his breath. When this breath comes out, the Rain Ninja Village will basically be over. With the peace talks between the Rain Ninja Village and Konoha, most of the efforts made by the Suna Ninja Village have been wasted. Chiyo, can you not be in a hurry? Etc. Seeing that Hanzo was about to leave, the surrounding ninjas made way for him, and they did not dare to stop him without Chiyo's order. Not many people are willing to stop Hanzo, because those who try to stop Hanzo usually die ugly. Hanzo stopped, turned around and said, What? Changed your mind? How much do you want? Can Chiyo not change her mind? She could only compromise and give the Rain Ninja Village as much supplies as possible so that Hanzo could continue the war with Konoha. Once the war ends and Konoha's army withdraws and is transferred to the battlefield of Kawakuni, Suna Ninja Village will be in big trouble. A little material is nothing in comparison. Even Sand Ninja Village is short of supplies, food, ninja tools, and detonating talisman supplies are all needed by my Rain Ninja Village. Turning and walking towards the outside of the camp, Hanzo's voice floated in the camp. If no supplies are seen within 3 days, the Rain Ninja Village will negotiate peace with Konoha, and I will also give the cause of the war to Konoha. Damn it! Chiyo couldn't help but secretly curse it. If she could, she would rather kill Hanzo here. It's a pity that she can't, or even dare to do it. Otherwise, it is still unknown how many people can survive in the camp. Chiyo-sama, should we? A Jounin gesture to cut his neck, and Chiyo shook his head with a cold face. No need, Hanzo is not that easy to kill. Even if we can kill him, we will pay a huge price and prepare supplies to send them there. The situation on the battlefield in the Kingdom of Rain fluctuated due to a little greed in the Rain Ninja Village. Qianyue and the others are also facing some minor troubles now. There were more Iwagakure ninjas around Kusanagi Village. According to Xiao Bai's observation, there were at least 3 Jounin teams and several Chunin teams appearing, seemingly looking for something. What are the people of Iwa Ninja Village looking for? Naoki was a little confused about their intentions. They didn't attack Kusanagi Village and had no intention of attacking. They just searched everywhere. There was even a group of people who sneaked into the Grass Ninja Village and were looking for them everywhere. Maybe he's looking for her. Qianyue looked back at Uzumaki Naiming, who was hiding in the grass. Uzumaki Nainara has been with them these past few days, and there was an echo from Tsunade. When the war is over, she will be responsible for settling Naina Uzumaki. I'll ask. Qianyue came to Uzumaki Naiming and asked, Have you met any ninjas from Iwa Ninja Village recently? No, Uzumaki Naomi answered obediently, but there are still members of our Uzumaki clan in the Grass Ninja Village. I don't know where they are hidden. Really hammered, it is definitely for the bloodline of the Uzumaki clan. Noki is not a short-sighted person like the third Hokage or Danzo. Although he is stubborn, he has a long-term perspective. Chapter 94. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Therefore, the people from Iwa Ninja Village appear here solely to find the bloodline of the Uzumaki clan. Noki hopes to bring the Uzumaki clan members back to Iwa Ninja Village and train them, whether it is various sealing techniques or the bloodline of the Uzumaki clan. this is what IWA Ninja Village values. Like other villages, IWA Ninja Village is also worried about Jinchuriki. A bloodline of the Uzumaki clan appeared in the Kusanagi village, and Inoki sent people to look for it, however. The people in the Grass Ninja Village were not stupid and hid the person directly. The people in IWA Ninja Village are becoming more and more active. Now Shu was a little worried that Uzumaki Naiming would be discovered by them. Qianyue, Minato, should we leave or stay? The people from the IWA Ninja Village are not here to attack the Grass Ninja Village. Even if they want to attack, we are no match. Minato said, looking towards Qianyue, it depends on what I do. If you want to leave, just tell me and keep an eye on me. Walk. Now that you have decided to quit, what are you still doing here? At best, the IWA Ninja Village will just turn over the Grass Ninja Village, and will not be so nervous as to attack the Grass Ninja Village. This will not do the IWA Ninja Village any good. Apart from angering Konoha, there is no benefit at all. Inoki is not a person who likes to do business at a loss. The team took Naruto Uzumaki on a quick trip, passing through the country of grass and heading to the country of rain. In the Kingdom of Rain, things calmed down because the Rain Ninja Village postponed its attack. Konoha's reinforcements have arrived at the front line. Orochimaru stayed behind to command, and Tsunade returned to the camp with the injured Jiraiya and other wounded. Minato, go and deal with the one at the headquarters. Just say there are too many people in IWA Ninja Village and we are no match, so we can only retreat. In addition, the IWA Ninja Village seems to be looking for something in the Grass Ninja Village and has no intention of attacking the Grass Ninja Village. At this time, I took the opportunity to give some eye drops to Danzo and the people in the Grass Ninja Village to make them suspicious of each other. Leave it to me. Minato made an okay gesture and walked towards the headquarters. Qianyue and Naoki brought Uzumaki Naomi to the medical department. Oh, be gentle, it hurts. Before they even entered the door, they heard Jiraiya's loud voice yelling. Is it so lively? Letting Naoshu take the frightened Uzumaki Naiming with him, Qianyue opened the curtain and took a look. I saw Jiraiya lying on the hospital bed, and Tsunade was directing several medical ninjas to help him treat him. Jiraiya's injuries were serious, his ribs were pierced by a kunai, and the kunai was highly poisonous. If Tsunade hadn't been helping him, this guy would have died on the way. At this time, some rotten flesh needed to be removed, and Jiraiya, who was suffering from the treatment, screamed in pain. The most terrifying thing was that Tsunade did not take action and asked other medical ninjas to come. Seeing Tsunade gloating and wanting to laugh, Qianyue was sure that Jiraiya had made her angry and Tsunade was seeking revenge. This kind of minor surgery could easily be done by Tsunade. It's a pity that she didn't take any action, let others do it, and continue to point fingers. The medical ninjas who came to help were all panicked. When their hands shook, Jiraiya screamed for a long time. This is, how miserable Jiraiya. Qianyue wiped the non-existent sweat on her forehead. Tsunade folded her hands on her chest and said lightly, he said he was about to die and needed me to give him a passionate kiss before leaving. I thought this was caused by the venom entering the body and disrupting the nerves, so I specially arranged a special surgery without anesthesia for him, so that he could stimulate nerves and helps with injury recovery and detoxification. Qianyue, this is really seeking death. No, I was wrong, I was really wrong. Jiraiya burst into tears, not sure if he was frightened or if he really regretted it. Not bothering to answer him, Tsunade nodded to the two dilemma medical ninjas, indicating that they could start the operation, and the two breathed a sigh of relief. Tsunade dares to play, but they don't. Once Jiraiya makes a mistake, they will be in big trouble. Is it her? The two walked out together, and Tsunade glanced at the timid Uzumaki Nainaru. You are indeed a member of the Uzumaki clan. Just rest for 2 days. After Jiraiya recovers a little from his injuries, I will take you and her back to the village. I just have something to discuss with the old man. The behavior in Ninja village has become more and more strange recently. After discussing with Orochimaru, Tsunade and Orochimaru agreed that the Rain Ninja village could no longer support it. At this time, you can give up some interests and engage in peace talks. It was just when discussing with Danzo that something went wrong. Danzo did not agree to peace talks at this time. He believes that negotiations are irrational until the war is over and the winner is determined. Tsunade understood. And Danzo hoped to get more credit. it didn't make sense anyway, and Tsunade was too lazy to talk nonsense and planned to go back to Konoha herself. What about Naoki and Minato? Just let them stay in the camp. Jiraiya just happens to have time and can teach them for a while. If he doesn't cultivate for a while, Jiraiya won't be able to step into the battlefield again. He also happened to have time, so he should teach his disciples. He could catch a duck, and there was no difference between two ducks. He simply left the rope tree with him and gave it to Jiraiya, except for some aspects of Jiraiya's behavior that are quite nasty and unbearable. In other aspects he is relatively reliable. Tsunade was also relieved when she handed the rope tree to Jiraiya. Besides, Minato was his disciple, and as a teacher, he didn't even teach him for long. Is this ridiculous? There is a perfect opportunity right now, okay? Nodding, Qianyue agreed. It would be good for Naoki and Minato to stay and learn from Jiraiya for a while. Jiraiya's ability to teach his disciples in this area is much better than Tsunade and Orochimaru. Come with me. My grandma is also from the Whirlpool clan. I have no ill intentions towards you. You don't have a suitable identity at the moment. If you don't follow me, I will bring you some trouble. Tsunade took Naruto Uzumaki away. Now Shu looked like he wanted to cry. I also want to go back to Konoha. Then go talk to your sister. Qianyue laughed and patted the rope tree on the shoulder. The poor guy will always be eaten to death by your sister. Minato came to the command post, and after getting permission, entered the command center. He reported the mission as Qianyue said. The people in Iwa Ninja Village are looking for something. When Danzo heard this, he couldn't help but frown. He was wondering what good things there were in the Grass Ninja Village that deserved such a big fanfare from the Iwa Ninja Village. The messenger from the Kusanagi village had never said this before. He just said that there were ninjas from the Iwa Ninja Village and they were worried about being attacked. It seemed that this ally was dishonest. The better someone is at playing tricks, the more suspicious they will be. Danzo would not suspect that Minato was lying, and he would know the result if he investigated some things. He suspected that the Grass Ninja Village was hiding something and was unwilling to tell Konoha. Your mission is not considered a failure. I will note the credit for this time. Go back and rest. The future of the village depends on young people like you. Yes, Lord Danzo. Minato bowed respectfully and left the headquarters. Although he looked happy on the outside, he was already complaining in his heart. Chapter 95. You are listening at novelfull.audio. If Minato hadn't known about all the darkness in Konoha, Minato would have felt that Danzo was praising him, but after knowing too much that he shouldn't know, Minato would only think that Danzo was deceiving him. Big lie. Only ghosts believe you. None of you people are good. When Minato learned that he would be left to study with Jiraiya, his attitude was completely different from that of Naoki. He was very happy because he could finally learn from the teacher. He has always felt that he had a false teacher who was inexplicably dumped in the village and never heard from again. All I know is fighting on the front lines, that's all. But when he came to the front line, he couldn't move with the teacher yet, so he could only run with Qianyue. Jiraiya, this teacher, really didn't fulfill his responsibilities as a teacher at all. Minato was sad about this for a while. Now that the opportunity has come, can he be unhappy? In order to allow the Rain Ninja Village to continue the war with Konoha, Chiyo was cruel. They moved some of the few supplies from Sand Ninja Village and sent them to Rain Ninja Village. Her approach was approved by the third Kazekage. Although Suna Ninja Village is also very poor, Suna Ninja Village urgently needs the main force of Konoha to be dragged in the Rain country. As long as the war in the Land of Rain is not over, Konoha will take care of both ends and cannot care about the ending. The supplies were sent out, but after Urin Village received the supplies, there seemed to be no movement. Chiyo couldn't help it anymore and immediately sent someone to urge Hanzo to act as soon as possible. He was still waiting to attack Konoha's camp. Why are you procrastinating? As a result, the person sent out returned with an angry look and cursed. Chiyo-sama, I think the people in the Rain Ninja Village are a bunch of liars. They are unwilling to start a war, saying that there were too many casualties some time ago and they need to rest. In addition, they said that there were not enough supplies. In addition to food, ninja tools, and detonating charms, they also needed various medicines. Good on you, Hanzo. My Chiyo's supplies were just fed to the dogs. Chiyo was immediately laughed out of anger. Why didn't you Hanzo say anything and even ask for the money? Wouldn't it be better if I sent you a few pieces of gold? It's simply too much of a lie. At this moment, Chiyo had the urge to lead an army and directly attack the Rain Ninja village, but she can't, because it's not worth it for a little material. Secondly, Ninja village is not that easy to fight, even if the overall strength of the Rain Ninja village is not strong. As long as Hanzo does not fall for a day, no one dares to underestimate the Rain Ninja village. Send them some more supplies and tell them that this is the last time. I hope they can abide by the agreement. Chiyo-sama, our own supplies, just do it. As long as it can make Konoha miserable, as long as it can make Konoha unhappy, everything is worth it. Chiyo only regretted that she was not on the battlefield of Kawa no Kuni, so that she could help her son and daughter-in-law avenge themselves. Chiyo's heart ached when she thought of Sia, who was still in the village eagerly awaiting her parents' return. Hataki Sakumo, the people of Sand Ninja village were very depressed. Unfortunately, the order came and they could only continue to send the few supplies to Rain Ninja village. Fortunately, Hanzo did not make fun of Chiyo this time, and indeed launched a new round of war, but the intensity of the war was not painful or itchy. Directly from the decisive battle, it returned to the small-scale combat stage. Chiyo gritted his teeth with hatred, but it was hard to find trouble with Hanzo. Because Hanzo really continued to kick off the war, but it was just different from the war that Chiyo expected. Don't say there's nothing written in black and white. Even if there is, Chiyo can't find anything wrong with it. After resting in the camp for 2 days, Tsunade returned to Konoha with Qianyue and Uzumaki Naruto. Danzo knew what Tsunade was doing when she returned to the village, but he didn't care, because of the help of Koharu and Mito Menon. Tsunade had almost no hope of persuading the third Hokage to take the initiative to negotiate with the Rain Ninja village. Danzo didn't have to worry. The task of negotiation suddenly fell on his head, leaving him in a hurry. At this time, Danzo was busy keeping an eye on the affairs of the Grass Ninja village. After Senjutsu's team returned, Minato made a report. Danzo did not plan the mission as a failure, but instead recorded credit for the 3 of them. Danzo, who was suspicious, did not trust the people in the Grass Ninja village, and immediately sent people from the Gen and ANBU to investigate and collect intelligence. With the efforts of Umbu and Gen, the secrets of the Grass Ninja village were dug out and sent to Danzo's desk. The Whirlpool clan. After reading the information scroll, Danzo slapped the table angrily, his expression not very good. He didn't care about a few people from the Uzumaki clan. After all, Qianyue and the others brought Uzumaki Nainai back. When Danzo learned about this, he had almost no reaction. To him, to Konoha, it didn't matter whether there were more or fewer Uzumaki clan members. What really made Danzo unhappy was the attitude of the Grass Ninja village. You came to ask for help, and I sent people to support you, but no one in your village even showed up. That's all. We are still afraid that we in Konoha will beg the Uzumaki clan, so we are covering up everything. Even the Iwa Ninja village knew the news, but Konoha was still kept in the dark. Is this what allies should do? Go and search carefully. Be sure to find the person who is hiding. If possible, bring him back to Konoha. If nothing can be done, kill him directly. A fierce light flashed in the leader's eyes. Even if Konoha doesn't want the members of the Uzumaki clan, they cannot fall into the hands of other villages. Not having to worry about Jinchuriki has always been Konoha's advantage. While other villages were troubled by the tailed beasts, Konoha had always been peaceful. Danzo didn't want to see other villages get people from the Uzumaki clan and train these people as Jinchuriki. This is a threat to Konoha, so he wants to take people away, and if he can't take them away, then get rid of them. Konoha cannot get it, nor can it fall into your hands. If Mito Uzumaki was still alive, Danzo would never casually bring the Uzumaki tribesmen living abroad back to Konoha. After all, she is an old supporter. As long as Uzumaki Mito steps forward, the third Hokage must obey her. It's different now. Konoha is completely run by a few of them. Even if there is one more Uzumaki family in Konoha, it won't cause any trouble. The legacy of the Uzumaki clan has long since become Konoha's. On the way back to Konoha, it didn't take long for Tsunade to reveal her true colors. Qianyue thought she was in a hurry, but, before we were even halfway there, this girl was clamoring to rest and eat barbecue. He also taught Uzumaki Nainai how to fight the landlord, and decided to play a few games to relax his tense nerves. Maybe I stayed in the land of rain for too long and felt a little depressed. As soon as she returned to the land of fire, Tsunade began to let herself go, taking Qianyue and Uzumaki Naruto to a town on the way to rest in the town. Even the hotel where we will stay has been booked. Do you have money? Qianyue made a sole inquiry. You brat, who are you looking down on? What is this if it's not money? Tsunade's face turned red with anger and she had the urge to hit someone. If she hadn't known that Qianyue would not give in to her casually, and might even use illusions on herself, Tsunade would have punched her. You actually doubted me. Chapter 96. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This money is enough. Taking out the money and putting it on the table, Tsunade raised her hand dissatisfied and shouted, Boss, please add 2 more bottles of wine. It seems that Tsunade made a fortune from the war and gained a lot on the battlefield. Not everyone likes to keep money in banks. Some ninjas like to put money in seal scrolls. Just open the reels and a bunch of money will fall out. There is no doubt that Tsunade took advantage. As for whether Orochimaru and Jiraiya were involved, Qianyue felt that he didn't. It's not difficult to want Tsunade's things, but if you want to share her money, no. Even if it is one's own teammates, it cannot be discussed. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. This is gambling money. I'll share it with you. What will I bet on? Hiccup, you guys go back and rest first. I have something to do. I will be back soon. I have booked a hot spring hotel. You go to the hot spring first. With money in hand, don't expect Tsunade to stay in the inn with peace of mind. If she doesn't go to the casino and lose everything, she will never come back. Yes, Tsunade-sama. Uzumaki Naruto, who didn't know Tsunade's true face, bowed respectfully and answered. Qianyue spread her palms with an expected expression. He had already guessed that there were several casinos in this town. Tsunade must have been here before, otherwise she would not be familiar with them and lead them this way. Love is waiting here. It's a gamble. It's not my money that I lose. Qianyue would not persuade Tsunade to stop gambling. Who hasn't had some special pastime yet? There's nothing to recommend. She probably won't come back tonight. Just practice with peace of mind. When you return to Konoha and have a new identity, you can live an upright life in Konoha. How to refine chakra. Qianyue has given it to Uzumaki Nainai. Making ill-gotten wealth is a matter of pride. After running around in the land of rain for a long time, Qianyue was also a little tired. She soaked in the hot spring and felt comfortable all over. With money in her pocket and no worries, Tsunade directly booked a hot spring pool, making the innkeeper grin from ear to ear. Leaning on the warm stone with a towel on her neck, Qianyue narrowed her eyes and fell asleep unconsciously. Crash. When she was confused, she heard the sound of someone entering the water. Qianyue woke up, opened her eyes, and asked in her heart, Xiao Bai, someone is here, why don't you call me? Because she has no ill intentions toward her master. In the sealed space, Xiao Bai blinked in confusion. Isn't the relationship between the master and Tsunade very good? Do you need to be careful? Is this a malicious question? Qianyue was speechless. She looked at someone in front of her who was so drunk that she could hardly stand. She threw away her clothes in a daze and sat down, soaking in the hot spring. She didn't forget to moan twice. Qianyue's forehead, a row of black lines appeared above. Before you come in, could you please check if anyone is here? All at once he was stripped naked. It's hard for me to pretend I didn't see it. This scene is simply incredible. The most speechless thing is that some people seem to use the hot spring pool as a swimming pool and want to take a dip. Qianyue couldn't stand it anymore and punched her decisively, wrapped in a bath towel, picked up the clothes, carried the person and threw them into the room, and said to the confused Uzumaki Nainaru, Tsunade is drunk and delirious. Please help her get dressed. Yes, Uzumaki Nainaru nodded stupidly, looked at Tsunade, who was only wrapped in a bath towel and had a red face, and then looked at Qianyue's leaving figure, and some pictures that shouldn't appear began to appear in her little head. Soon, Uzumaki Nainai became confused, because Tsunade was drunk and passed out. She couldn't move it. In the end, she could only help Tsunade cover her with the quilt, put on clothes, etc., and could only talk about it tomorrow. My head hurts. Did I drink too much yesterday? The next day, Tsunade woke up in a daze and felt a splitting headache. She raised her hand and touched her head. She couldn't help but gasped, and there was a big bump. I was beaten. Who dares to hit my mother? Tsunade sat up immediately and felt a little chilly after the quilt slipped off. He looked down and blinked in confusion. He didn't seem to have the habit of sleeping naked. Is this a bath towel? Grabbing the clothes placed aside, she quickly put them on. Tsunade picked up the towel. Some of the things that happened yesterday began to appear in her mind. She was a little excited because she could take the opportunity to gamble a few times, so at the barbecue restaurant, when I was eating barbecue, I couldn't help but drink a little too much. When I was tired, I went to the casino. As a result, I was so unlucky that I lost everything in a short time. I also borrowed a lot more from the casino owner, but still lost it all. Feeling depressed, I bought a few bottles of wine from the casino and drank while returning to the inn, wanting to soak in a hot spring and relax. As a result, as soon as I finished taking off my clothes and walked into the hot spring pool, I was stunned, then it was gone. Tsunade was suddenly shocked and her expression changed. Squeak. At this time, the door to the room was pushed open, and Uzumaki Naime walked in with a glass of warm water. Seeing that Tsunade was awake, she happily walked forward and handed over the cup. Tsunade-sama, you are finally awake. You are too heavy for me to move you and put on your clothes. Drink some hot water first. You must have a headache after drinking so much wine yesterday, right? She blankly took the cup and drank 2 mouthfuls of water. Veins popped up on Tsunade's forehead. Click. The cup shattered instantly, causing Uzumaki Naiming to scream in surprise and her beauty turned pale. My head hurts, but it's not from drinking, it's from being beaten. He hit me. He even hit the back of the head. How could he be so immoral? Yes, that boy Qianyue sent me here, right? Tsunade turned her head and stared at Uzumaki Nainaru. Uzumaki Nainaru was shocked, subconsciously clasped her hands in front of her chest, and nodded repeatedly. Yes. Mr. Qianyue said that you were drunk and asked me to help you put on your clothes. It's over, now I am too embarrassed to see anyone. Tsunade was about to cry but had no tears. She raised her hand to touch her forehead, feeling that all her face was gone. You brat, you must be in for a treat. We can't just let it go. Damn it, we are going to Grandma's house at a loss. Not only did he lose blood, but he was also beaten. Is this a big deal? We need to get this thing back. Tsunade jumped up, ran towards the next room with bare feet, kicked the door open, strode in, and roared, Kianzuki Yagami, what did you do to me last night? It's early in the morning. Qianyue was sleeping holding a fragrant little white heater when she was awakened by Tsunade's voice. He rubbed his eyes, put Xiaobai aside, looked at the completely shattered door, and then looked at Tsunade who was full of murderous aura, rubbed his eyes, yawned and complained, What can I do to you? I also want to ask, what do you want to do? Without saying a word, he walked in and started taking off his clothes, and then jumped off. Do you think it's appropriate to do this in front of me, a child? Chapter 97. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Looking at you drinking like a dead pig, I was worried that you would be embarrassed. I kindly knocked you out and took you back to your room. You kicked the door of my room and asked me what I did to you. Don't your conscience hurt? Aren't you afraid of teaching bad children? Qianyue's series of angry remarks made Tsunade dumbfounded. She seemed to be looking for trouble, but why did she become the one being troubled? It seems that this is really not a good thing. Even though I am a woman, in theory, it's a bit of a disadvantage, but Qianyue is a child. When she thought of herself stripping naked and jumping into the hot spring pool in front of her children, Tsunade was so embarrassed that she almost dug out a 3-bedroom apartment with her toes, wanting to find a place to hide in. It's okay if you don't want this face. All have been lost, besides. Qianyue pointed at the broken wood on the ground angrily. Do you still have money to compensate? Kick the door, kick it as many times as you like. Just pay if you kick it. Do you think you are in Konoha? If it's kicked, naturally someone from ANBU will fix it. If you kick in the door here, you will have to pay for it, money. As soon as she heard this word, Tsunade's brain felt dizzy. I still have a lot of money, I lost all of it last night, not even a hair on my head, it looks like some people lost all their money. It's really bad. After getting up and getting dressed, Qianyue looked at Tsunade, who had messy hair and smelled of alcohol, and said, "Now you are finished. Judging from the size and decoration of this inn, the value of this door is probably not low. Do not talk." Tsunade almost covered her face. "Put it on and I'll pay it back to you another day." "Dream. I don't want to spoil you. Do you expect you, Tsunade, to pay back the money? I'm afraid it's still the same when I'm dreaming." Holding Xiaobai in her arms, Qianyue refused righteously. "I'll pay for the meals, and I'll pay for the drinks, too, but you can figure it out on your own, and I'll see if you kick in the door in the future." "Oh, don't do it, otherwise I won't even give you food money." Some people get so angry that they want to hit someone, but will Qianyue give her a chance? "Of course I won't give it, so go find the money to compensate. I can pay for the rest." "The compensation is your problem, you are vicious." After glaring at Qianyue, Tsunade gritted her teeth and left. After washing, Tsunade went out for a walk. As for what she was doing, Qianyue didn't know. "All I know is that she got the money and paid for the door." This directly caused Tsunade not to speak to Qianyue the whole way down, and Qianyue ignored her. Uzumaki Nai kept looking over and over at the two of them, wanting to persuade but never dared to speak. The three of them just walked all the way to Konoha. Back in Konoha, Tsunade went to the Hokage's office building, while Chizuki took Naruto Uzumaki to find Kushina. "Lord Qianyue, are you and Tsunade-sama okay?" After such a boring journey, Uzumaki Nai was afraid that something would go wrong between Qianyue and Tsunade. "It's okay." He raised his hand and rubbed Uzumaki Naiming's little head. Qianyue smiled and comforted her. Tsunade's anger has gone away a long time ago. She just couldn't find the steps, so she kept feeling depressed. Compared to the lustful and shameless third Hokage and Jiraiya, the stimulation given by Qianyue was not as great as theirs. The main reason why Tsunade was able to be bored all the way was because she felt so humiliated that she was embarrassed to speak without Qianyue's help. Despite Tsunade's usually careless appearance and not caring about anything, she herself was confused when this happened. "Let's go. I'll take you to find your tribe. Her name is Kushina. You should be familiar with this name." "Don't be afraid, Kushina is an easy person to get along with. Haven't you heard of her?" Uzumaki Naiming shook his head. When the Uzumaki clan was exterminated, she was still a little girl and couldn't remember anything. In addition, while escaping all the way, his parents never mentioned the Uzumaki clan, so Uzumaki Nai was completely blank about this aspect. Arriving at the door of Kushina's house, Kianzuki knocked twice. When they were away from Konoha, Kushina went out less often. She stayed at home most of the time and went directly to the house to find people. "That's right, who?" Hearing the knock on the door, Kushina ran out in slippers, opened the door, stretched out her head to take a look, and jumped up in surprise. "Qianyue, are you back?" Forehead. Just about to open the door and invite Qianyue in, Kushina suddenly saw Uzumaki Naruto behind Qianyue. "Red hair, the same color as myself." The smile on Kushina's face slowly disappeared, and a suspicion emerged from the bottom of her heart. "Qianyue, is she from the Uzumaki clan?" Kushina felt herself very nervous. As for why she was nervous, she couldn't tell herself. "This is Uzumaki Nainaru. The team met her when they were on a mission in the country of grass, so I decided to bring her back. It just so happens that it's boring for you to stay alone in the village, but it's good to have a companion by your side." Qianyue pushed out the timid Uzumaki Naime. "Hello, my name is Uzumaki Nainaru." You, my name is Uzumaki Kushina." Tears flowed uncontrollably. Kushina once thought that she was the only one from the Uzumaki clan in the world, who knew Qianyue would bring her a surprise today, a big surprise. She was not the only Uzumaki clan, she had her own clan. Very good. Kushina hugged Uzumaki Nainaru excitedly and cried and laughed. Uzumaki Nainaru was a little confused, so she could only wrap her little hands around Kushina's waist and hug her. Kushina was as happy as a little sparrow to have a clan member stay with her in Konoha and keep chirping and asking questions. She circled around Uzumaki Nainaru and regarded Uzumaki Nainaru as her sister from the bottom of her heart. "Are all women made of water?" Looking at the two people hugging each other and crying, Qianyue couldn't stand this scene. After seeing it too much, it was easy to recall all the things in her previous life. Just go home and cook something delicious to comfort yourself. Are you too old? Why do you get so emotional easily? Bah, I'm still a child. When she got home and looked at the empty refrigerator, Qianyue felt that it would be better for her to lie down. Old man, I'm back. Opening the door and walking into the Hokage's office, Tsunade checked that there was no annoying person in the office, and simply fell down on the sofa, lying down like a salted fish. He actually didn't kick the door, and he didn't quarrel with him because of Danzo. The third Hokage looked at Tsunade lying on the sofa and felt that something was not right with Tsunade today. Did you encounter any trouble on the way? No, Tsunade sat up and answered lazily. I lost a lot of money and am in a bad mood. Old man, how about you subsidize me some? Ahem. The third Hokage coughed violently, his old face turning red. Chapter 98. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Tsunade, you also know that as a Hokage, I usually don't need money, so I don't have any money to subsidize you. Doesn't it cost money to be Hokage? Tsunade stared at him with suspicious eyes. The third Hokage felt guilty, turned his head and explained, does it cost a lot to be a Hokage? As a teacher, I spend most of my time in the Hokage's office building, and I can't find a place to spend money. How can I spend money? Borrow money? No way. Subsidy? Still no way. Seeing your guilty conscience, as if I, Tsunade, would rob your little treasury. Tsunade despised the teacher. Okay, don't act like I'm going to take your money. Let's talk about the peace talks between Danzo and the Rain Ninja Village. Tsunade's laziness disappeared, and she cheered up. With a serious expression, she pulled up a chair and sat in front of the Hokage's desk, and said to the third Hokage, the current situation in the Rain Ninja Village is not optimistic. Orochimaru and I guessed that there are not many supplies left in the Rain Ninja Village and they can't hold on anymore, so Hanzo is eager to have a decisive battle with us Konoha. I think we can send someone to contact Hanzo now to see if Hanzo is interested in peace talks. There is no need to fight to the death before sitting down and talking slowly. But Danzo doesn't agree with Orochimaru and I's suggestions. He feels that Konoha's dignity cannot be challenged, so he should give the Rain Ninja Village a head-on attack. Let's wait until the war is won before negotiating. When she thought of what Danzo had said, Tsunade wanted to punch his dog's head off with one punch. If you have the ability, go to the battlefield and kill the enemy yourself, while you sit in the command post and fuck your hair. It's not you, Danzo, who dares to die for love, right? It's just a number. You won't care how many ninjas die. Instead, you will say, everything is for the village. It's probably for the sake of face and getting credit, so Orochimaru, Jiraiya and I suggested that you start negotiations first. There is no need to sacrifice a large number of ninjas on the battlefield just for the sake of so-called face. Tsunade looked at the third Hokage with a bit of expectation in her beautiful eyes. She hoped that the third Hokage could adopt her and Orochimaru's and Jiraiya's suggestions and start negotiations. There is no need to fight until the end to negotiate peace. Such peace talks will be meaningless. Even if Konoha wins, it will be a miserable victory. It is good for Konoha to start peace talks in advance, as it can reduce sacrifices and save a lot of supplies. It's just a small loss in the negotiation. Konoha doesn't care. Tsunade, Orochimaru, and Jiraiya have good ideas. It's a pity that the three of them are destined to be disappointed. After a moment of silence, the third Hokage shook his head slightly, making Tsunade's heart sink to the bottom. His expression slowly solidified, and the expectation in his eyes turned into disappointment. Sighing, the third Hokage looked into Tsunade's eyes and said regretfully, Tsunade, I know that the starting point of the three of you is for the good of Konoha, but Konoha cannot retreat at this time, because we are the initiators of the war, even if the person who started the war is the Suna Ninja Village. At this time, there is no way out, and Rain Ninja Village is a clear signal, giving restless hope to other Shao Ninja villages. If they cannot defeat you Ninja Village with dignity, then the ninja villages in other small countries will begin to imitate you Ninja Village and develop their military power at all costs. By that time, the entire ninja world will be destroyed. The cost of fully developing military strength is foreign war. At that time, new rounds of war will sweep across the entire ninja world. Peace talks are needed, but not at this time. Can you understand me? But Yu Ninja Village is able to take this extreme path because of Hanzo. The resources and population of Shao Ninja Village are limited, so it is difficult for the next Hanzo to be born. Tsunade also wanted to change the third Hokage's mind through persuasion. It's useless. The third Hokage shook his head. We can't take such risks, Tsunade. Everything I do is for the village. The village is the village again. Let the ninjas of the village sacrifice themselves, let the village continuously invest new strength into the battlefield. Is this what is called for the village? Tsunade was extremely disappointed and slammed the table hard, causing it to break. The third Hokage, who had been mentally prepared, rescued his pipe in time. As for other things, if they were dropped, they would be lost, and it would be fine if they were broken. Old man, I'm very disappointed in you. Fight this war yourselves, I don't care anymore. One leg is about to break, the cracked table was kicked away, and the table smashed through the window and flew out of the window of the Hokage's office and fell to the ground, making passers-by scream and dodge. Who is so bold as to take action in the Hokage's office? All of a sudden, a dozen ANBU people appeared in the Hokage's office. After they rushed into the Hokage's office, they looked at the angry and gloomy Tsunade, looking at the third Hokage who looked calm and didn't even say a word of blame. He stood aside consciously. Obviously, the master and disciple, the third Hokage and Tsunade had some unpleasantness again, seeing the big hole made by the table. The ANBU ninjas were all ashamed. Just get used to it, because of Tsunade's bad temper. The tables and chairs in the Hokage's office have been changed countless times. The door is most vulnerable to disaster. Unexpectedly, this time it was the window that was vulnerable. Tsunade and I have some disagreements. You can go down first. The three Hokages waved their hands calmly. Yes, Hokage-sama. The ANBU ninja lowered his head and opened. After venting her anger, Tsunade said with a livid face, Jiraiya wants to exchange the Flying Thunder God technique in the Book of Ceilings for his disciple Minato. The required contribution will be deducted from his head, and an additional shadow clone technique will be added. Good. The third Hokage did not refuse, and decisively took out the seal scroll, expanded the two ninjutsu into the ninjutsu scroll, and handed it to Tsunade. Taking the ninjutsu scroll with her, Tsuna left without looking back. When I walked out of the office, I happened to bump into two elders, Koharu and Mito Manabu, who had heard the news. Snort. Knowing that Danzo could be so unscrupulous, the third Hokage refused to take soft and hard advice. It was indispensable for the two of them to drink ecstasy soup and help in various ways. Therefore, Tsunade didn't give them any good looks. She snorted and almost threw her two golden ponytails into their faces. This made Koharu, who was transferred to the dormitory, and Mito Kadoyan very angry. Mito Menyen was okay. He shook his head and said nothing, and went to bed with a face that was green. Sarutobi, are you just letting Tsunade go? Look what she has become. She is so lawless that even the elders of the village don't respect her. The third Hokage held his pipe in his mouth, raised his head and said, Tsunade is also a high-ranking member of Konoha, the crown princess of Konoha. Chapter 99. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Theoretically, in Konoha, Tsunade's status is only lower than that of the contemporary Hokage. It can be regarded as the same level as the elders and Hokage assistants. Therefore, the crime of sleeping with Xiaochun is not justified at all. For example, if a genin scolds a jounin, he will be punished, because he does not respect the strong or his seniors, but both parties are jounin. What's wrong with scolding you a few times? What's wrong with your expression? You bite me, you. Is this what I'm talking about? When Xiaochun went to bed, her nose was almost crooked with anger. Upon seeing this, Mito Kabuto quickly smoothed things over. Okay Zayaharu, it's not like you don't know Tsunade's character, so don't argue with her like a child. With the comfort of Mito Menyen, Koharu's face looked better now. The third Hokage puffed out smoke and sighed. Tsunade and the three of them felt that Konoha should take the initiative to start peace talks instead of waiting for peace talks after the war is over. I refused. Is that so? Then I forgive her. Knowing that she was in the wrong, Xiaochun couldn't get angry anymore, because the third Hokage began to think about peace talks, but finally gave up this plan, and her contribution was indispensable. If it weren't for her and Mito Kaiden's help, it's not certain whether Danzo would be able to secure his position as frontline commander. Tsunade was also embarrassed by them because of these things. Everything is for the village. Men Yen is right, it is not worth being angry. With a child, go and ask Yagami Chizuki to come to Akimichi's barbecue restaurant to meet me. When leaving the Hokage's office building, Tsunade said something to the ANBU ninja in the dark and left with a face. The ANBU ninja smiled bitterly, not daring to refuse, so he could only obediently hold his nose and obey. Kianzuki Yagami, Tsunade-heim wants you to go to the Akimichi clan's barbecue restaurant to find her immediately. Just when Qianyue was debating whether to eat ramen or buy groceries, ANBU ninjas came to the door. TSK, it looks like I'm angry. Looking at this posture, Qianyue knew that Tsunade's idea of persuading the third Hokage to negotiate peace had failed, so she was angry at the barbecue restaurant while eating barbecue and drinking wine. As for why you call him, in addition to looking for someone to complain to, it's because my pockets are empty. I haven't eaten anything yet, so I'm ready to eat barbecue. Kushina and Uzumaki Nai needed to get acquainted with each other alone for a while to enhance their relationship, so Qianyue did not disturb them. As for Uchiha Mikoto, Qianyue believed that she would come to him when she got the news. Now he doesn't want to go to the Uchiha clan. It's still a familiar recipe and a familiar taste. Apart from being more expensive, Akimichi's barbecue has almost no other drawbacks. I'm looking for Tsunade. Please follow me. Tsunade-sama is here. Under the leadership of the barbecue restaurant staff, Qianyue walked into the private room. In the private room, Tsunade had already drank. Her cheeks were slightly red, and she seemed to be a little drunk. Glancing at the two empty wine bottles next to him, Qianyue called him a good guy. How long has it been since you finished 2 bottles? This is the 3rd bottle, and even sake can't hold up to this kind of creation. Without trying to persuade Tsunade to drink less or comforting her, Qianyue took off her coat, sat down, picked up the chopsticks, and put the meat slices on the grill. Raising her head, she drank the 3rd bottle of wine as if drinking mineral water. Tsunade narrowed her eyes and cast a drunken look on Qianyue's face. Hiccup. He burped without a care in the world. Don't you advise me to drink less? What do I advise you to do? Qianyue picked up the juice that she had picked up when she walked in, took a sip, and said, I know you are in a bad mood and I want to persuade you to drink. Just drink if you want. When you are drunk, you will have less worries. Ahem. I've never seen you like this. Tsunade was stricken by Qianyue's hand and coughed all over. Qianyue looked at her and thought for a while, but still didn't go over to help pat her on the back or anything. With Tsunade's physical condition, this was just a minor problem and nothing serious. Sure enough, after a few coughs, Tsunade calmed down, but the blush on her face expanded. Picking up a piece of roasted beef, she stuffed it into her mouth without fear of burning it. After taking a few sips of hot air, Tsunade said angrily, I failed to persuade the old man. He and Danzo are of the same mind. They don't want to negotiate in advance and will wait until the war is over. Guessed. Qianyue continued to put the meat on the grill and said without raising her head, After all, Yurin village has strengthened its military strength and opened up to the outside world. Expansion and war are a dangerous sign. Once villages in other countries follow suit, the situation in the entire ninja world will be changed, and there will be rounds of wars that will never subside. You think I'm wrong too? Tsunade laughed to herself. No, you're right. Qianyue shook her head, put down her chopsticks, looked at Tsunade, and said with a serious expression, On the contrary, you did the right thing, because your starting point was to save the lives of some people in the village, end the war as soon as possible, and reduce the consumption of the village. But you haven't thought about one thing, that is, the butt determines the head. The height you stand at determines what kind of issues you consider. Like me. Pointing to herself, Qianyue smiled that, I am just an ordinary chunin in Konoha. Why the village went to war with the Rain Ninja village, when the negotiations will start, and when the war will end are not things I need to consider, because I'm just a little chunin. All I need to do is complete the tasks given to me by the village while saving my own life. It's that simple. Are you saying that my actions are unnecessary? Is it out of bounds? Tsunade clenched her fists. Qianyue replied calmly, don't get involved with me. It has nothing to do with me. You should ask those who reject you and those who oppose you. The barbecue is ready, let's eat the meat first. I believe you. It's still ordinary. How many ordinary guys like you can be found in Konoha? Tsunade glanced at Qianyue, picked up the chopsticks and began to eat the meat. She stuffed all the meat into her mouth like a squirrel hiding food, stuffing her mouth full. Then he glared at Qianyue angrily. I robbed all the meat, what can you do to me? On purpose, right? Qianyue laughed angrily, put down her chopsticks and shouted, check out, Tsunadeheim pays. Don't. This is what Tsunade is afraid of, because she has no money, not even a penny, all her money was donated to the casino. The reputation of the big fat sheep was not for nothing. She would never leave if she didn't lose. If the store really came to pay, she would be embarrassed. The dignified Tsunadeheim wants to eat on credit, so the club is dead. With a crash, the door of the private room was pushed open, and the staff of the barbecue restaurant stood at the door, with a smile on his face. Do the two guests need to pay? It's over. I'm too embarrassed to see anyone. Tsunade felt like crying. Qianyue smiled happily and said to the staff, I made a mistake. Please add 2 more plates of beef, 1 more plate of venison, and 2 more bottles of sake. Okay, just a second. The staff smiled and closed the door, quickly delivered the extra items, put them down enthusiastically, closed the door and left. You scare me to death. I almost thought I was going to die in a barbecue restaurant. Tsunade breathed a sigh of relief, patted her big breasts hard, and quickly drank a bottle of wine to calm down her shock. The next session turned into the famous scene where Tsunade was eating while cursing the third Hokage, Danzo, and others. The sound was very loud, but it did not cause any commotion.